Strength is probably the most frustrating soft skill to level, the benefits of which can be pretty tremendous, especially when given the elite perk. As it levels, strength allows people to sprint faster, carry more weight, throw grenades further, jump higher, and swing harder with a melee weapon. At level 51, the elite perk for strength provides you with a buff that only counts the weight in your backpack against your maximum carrying capacity. Weight capacity may not seem like it matters at first, but when overweight, the most noticeable hit to our stats is to that of endurance. Stamina drain when overweight is drastically higher. So, while you'll still be able to technically sprint at full speed just as if you had no weight on at all, you won't be able to run for nearly as long. There are several methods for leveling strength, and I'm going to go through each one so that you can make a determination as to which one seems to work best for you. Now, some of these methods will be significantly slower than others. So if you're someone that believes in maintaining the sanctity of the game, or whatever, you can choose whichever path you believe to be right for your style of gameplay. Remember, guys, this is a beta test, so certain methods are likely not going to work in the future. All of these methods, as a side note, are buffed by the air filter's 40% physical skills buff. So make sure, especially for this skill, that you have that running while you attempt to level your strength. Before we get into the methods that actually level strength, I first want to touch upon a couple of myths. There are things in the community that people think work, but actually do not. First is door breaching. During Tarkov's early alpha and early beta cycle, it was believed that breaching doors was something that assisted in leveling strength. This is no longer the case, and I'm not sure if it ever actually was. Seen here in this video, I breached several doors and saw absolutely no improvement at all to the strength bar progression, so I think this one doesn't work. Second was jumping. Now, this actually used to be a viable way to level strength, but once it was widely revealed to the community that people could put things like ammo boxes in their gamma containers and just do an entire raid worth of jumping up and down, they made themselves overweight and then did that for durations of entire raids, bypassing the need to do any of these other methods, and they were able to max out their strength in just a handful of hours. This since has been patched several patches ago, and jumping is no longer a viable option. One of the oldest methods for leveling strength would be to just play the game overweight. There were old cheesing methods for this, where you could put an ammo case full of shotgun shells in your container, or stack a bunch of tea bags, or fill a documents case with maps. But all of these methods have been fixed, either by not allowing you to place certain items inside of your secure container, or by fixing the weight of certain items and or changing stack sizes of ammunition so that you can't be securely overweight anymore. The only real method to be able to be overweight is to wear heavy gear, but of course there are always exceptions that people will find. There is one kind of cheesing method for this. When you complete the Punisher series of tasks or complete all of the tasks in the game and get either the Epsilon or the Kappa containers, you can place a tank battery inside of them and use that to become overweight. This is the only secure overweight method I know of that currently exists, but it does work. Now, in this case, strength only levels when you walk utilizing this method. If you sprint, that does not level strength. It levels endurance instead. Secondarily, this method is extremely slow. From level 0 to level 51, it will take someone nearly 300 hours of walking time spent while overweight inside of a raid. Grenade throwing has been something touted as a viable method for strength leveling, granting levels quickly but at an expense. The most inexpensive way to do this would be to throw every single grenade you find throughout your raids from boxes, scav PMC bots, and other players. Failing that, you have to buy them. Currently, the most inexpensive single-slot grenades are flashbangs, costing somewhere around 7,000 rubles each from Prapor. Each grenade is worth about 0.125 strength points when thrown, which means 8 grenades is 1 full XP point, and all grenades are treated exactly the same. While this is faster than the walking method, it becomes extremely expensive. From level 0 to level 51 strength, you would have to throw 46,500 grenades, costing approximately 325.5 million rubles across more than 500 raids. The last main method for leveling strength is via your Meili Weapon, and this is really the only viable method to do this. There are two major avenues you can take here. One you can do with a friend, and the other you can do solo. First, the cheese method. Get a friend and bring a low-damage left-click swinging melee weapon, like a crowbar or a Red Rebel ice pick. Find a nice quiet corner and start hitting your friend in the legs. While you swing at your friend's leg, have them heal through it using healing kits of their choosing until your stamina is exhausted, and then have them do the same to you while you heal and regenerate stamina in return. Each melee swing is worth 0.1 strength points. This is the current fastest way to level strength in Tarkov, and while it's still time-consuming, it's nowhere near the amount of time needed for the other two methods. The non-cheese method for this is to go scav hunting with a thick kit on and a melee weapon. So body up on the scav and start bashing. You should be able to manage 5 to 10 points of skill XP per raid if you're wearing adequate gear like a Gen 4 and a decent helmet or face shield. So these are all three of the ways that you can level strength in point 12. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please mention it to a buddy and maybe even stop by and see some of my completely horrible content on Twitch. Thank you guys for supporting me, everyone, and I'll see you in the next one.